Welcome to the Broker Collective episode 106. Today, I have the honor to have Suzanne Aujla sitting with us. One and amazing Suzanne, probably the most famous BDM
Oh
person,
my
individual woman
goodness,
of influence
Asim.
in the
Talk
industry.
about the butter.
Yeah, for sure. No, thank you so much, Suzanne, for joining us. But for a lot of people who don't know you, um, let's start from you know not from your career, but where did you grow up, and just walk me through your
Ooh,
early years.
where did I grow up? Oh my goodness. So I was born in North Vancouver, and then I went over to the island, and my sister was born in Campbell River. And then my dad was operations at RBC. And one day they said, hey, you got to go to the Caribbean. And my dad said, nope, I'm not going to take my kids. So we ended up in Kamloops. So we spent about 21 years in Kamloops.
Okay, so you talked about your dad. Was your dad a big influence in your early years?
Probably operationally because my dad ran the house like an operation. So I think a lot of that actually seeped into probably my mindset, right? Um, yeah, I would say my dad was a big influence.
And when you look back or think back, um, where was the most um, what were you most curious about? As just how some kids they want to become a pilot, or they want to become a doctor.
Ooh, good question. I actually wanted to be a teacher. My mom was in the bank as well, and she was like my inspiration. But being a teacher was something that I always wanted to do.
So, if you wanted to become a teacher, what got you into mortgage brokering?
Funny story. So, well, I'm going to miss a few years, but my mom was like a RBC mortgage specialist. She was top notch, and she mentored so many women in the bank at that time. And when I was getting my mortgage, I got it through a mortgage broker. And the mortgage broker, and that at that time, my mom just retired, blah, 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 right? And the mortgage broker picked up the phone and said, I really like the way you speak. And the way you speak and the way you talk to me, have you ever thought about coming into the industry? And I said, well, I didn't really think about it, but that's how I entered in. And the lady who it brought me over was mentored by my mom. And she said, if I could do anything to pay it forward, I would really like to be able to mentor you. I see something in you, and I want to do that for you. And that's how I started. And I started with a very experienced older broker at Invis, and I answered her phones. So I just sat and answered phones. And then from there, I became a mortgage broker, and I worked with Troy Resvick over in a long time ago, and he hired me, and there we go. We started brokering. And I learned a lot of important fundamentals through Troy. The one thing I learned and is that when you learn something, you have to learn it right the first time. Because whatever you learn in your broker space, you have to have it taught to you right the first time. Because when we grow and we move on, you're going to always go back to what you're first trained into. And that's the habit that you form and you create. So I was really blessed to have that foundation on that, because I think that foundation has carried me through my whole career, whether it was in brokering or in the lender side.
With that being said, what would be the main thing that you picked up on as part of that foundation? Would it be maybe your work schedule? Would it be ethics? What would be the thing that was like the top?
Good question. What I've learned out of all of that, it's brokering is hard work. It's grit, and there's no shortcut. You have to do the time, you have to do the 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 space of it. There's just no shortcut. You got to have the grit, and you got to keep going.
So you were getting that from your mentor as tough feedback, essentially.
100%.
That sort of built that foundation, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Yeah. And he like, just sort of like the education here at AMI, like you're really building that foundation, and that foundation and the way that you're learning is really important to evolve and elevate yourself into that next step.
For someone who's listening who does not have a mentor and does not have a Troy in their life, where do they start?
That's a really good question. You really have to find the person that you want to be, or somebody who's smarter than you. You got to find somebody that's got the experience, that's willing to give back.
Yeah, willing to help you more than anything.
100%. My biggest influence in my life is somebody who, I went and asked to be a mentor, and, they get asked all the time, and realizing that the first time that person shot me down and they said, come back with something a little bit more. And when I came back a little bit more, I showed that I was prepared to be a part of that mentor-mentoree relationship. Because being a mentor or asking a mentor isn't a one-way street, it's a two-way street. You have to put in as much, and a mentor and a mentoree, you're actually reciprocating and you're still learning from each other. And I think that's really important in a mentor-mentoree relationship. And I've been very blessed to have some amazing mentors in my career, in my lifetime.
My personal mentor, I can definitely say, is Asim. And it was interesting. Everybody preaches that they have a top producing broker that is their mentor. Most brokerage owners, at one point, they became a top producer. But not having availability to address all of their brokers, I think it becomes a bit of a challenge. And I know it's something that Asim, he's appointed other people to assist when he's not there, but he always takes the time to actually get involved and help us out. I think that that's actually helped me out significantly. And I know that it's a challenge right now for some other brokers. They have become complacent within their brokerage with whatever it is, they seem stuck, and they are banking off of the name of their managing broker that's no longer there for them because they're running their own book of business. So I can certainly say that that has been a very valuable asset, having availability to that mentor like Troy. He was there for you, finding that person that you can actually connect with and truly connect with when you need to connect with them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I've been blessed to have a few, when I was a broker, a few people that have added into that. And I think I was listening to a little broker in a previous podcast. I think Shannon had mentioned like those meetings in the brokerage where you're really sitting in resources. And I used to love going to lender meetings. I'm not saying that because I'm a lender and I like to meetings. I'm saying that because when I was at the lender meetings, sitting there and listening to the ideas and the concept and the deals was super cool. And to hear things that you don't know, but you're learning from people on that was something that I feel elevated me in my mindset when I would underwrite, right? Because when I learned how to underwrite, it was everything I look at going forward is always like, how do you underwrite that? And you think about that puzzle. Even to this day, when somebody's talking about underwriting, you're sitting there listening and you're thinking, oh, like, I wonder how they did that, or what exception did they get, or what was the rationale, or how did I build that business case to get that exception or to get that deal done. Because so many people come into the industry and they think, oh, everything's cookie cutter. I just need to do this number and this number. Well, if everybody could do that, we'd have 100, 20, 200, 1,000, 3,000, 4,000 brokers that are sitting there that can all punch out numbers. But to actually learn how to write notes and do business cases and understand exceptions, that's the stuff you learn from experienced brokers.
Understand your lenders. 100%. And that's where we met. We met originally at a lender meeting.
We met at Starbucks.
But it was a lender meet. Like I was meeting a lender.
It was.
Getting to know you because I had some deals which could have gone to the lender where you were.
And I met you 1 month in. Right. And when I met you 1 month in, I knew you were going to do well. And I actually have a picture on my Facebook where I took it and it said, this guy's going to do well. And like, look at that. What was it? 35 million in your first year. And then you did over 100 million in your second year, right? Like not everybody could do that, right? And it was really cool to watch your career, but I think about the 35 million you funded, but what about all the other deals that didn't fund, and how much effort and how much that took to build, to fund that, or to go through that, right?
Right. So, Suzanne, you talked about you being a broker in your early years. What were the key milestones besides being a broker in the last, decade that you've accomplished? Just walk us through, where you have been, because some of the people a lot of people know you in the space, already, but there's some who might not know, where you are at currently or what have you done over the years.
So from Troy, I went to another brokerage, and I had two broker owners who I absolutely loved, and they were a really big support for me as well. So having a broker owner who was really supportive is really important, because they understand who you are and where your skill set is as well. So when I started there, I actually started a group with a wonderful woman, Hallie Strandland Noble, and Hallie Noble and I have. And we like she was a wonderful mentor in my world. Some of the stuff that I learned from her, and having somebody with her experience, is what helped support me, growing in my career as well. And we started this group, with a massive group of women. And through that, I had to sit down and make a decision. Do I continue to broker, or do I go on the lender side where I can support this group a lot more effectively? Because when you broker, you have to put all in. And I didn't think that I could put all in and run my book and run my stuff. And back in the day, I was doing like webinars, because we didn't have like YouTube, or so I did like 90-second credit boot camp, and we did lots of stuff like that. And so from WIMI, I started at Equitable Bank. So Equitable Bank is a alternative lender. There was two of us that was BDMing over here for Equitable Bank. Back then, nobody really understood alternative lending. People were like, well, what is this? And now it's like an everyday currency. And it's people understand how to utilize the lending as a tool. And then I grouped up with BC Lenders Group, and I'm a co-founder for BC Lenders Group. Myself and a few lenders got together, and we really wanted to take brokers, and we wanted to support and elevate them higher in their brokering careers. And then from there, I was with MPC. I've done every job at MPC outside of director, and through that was really interesting. I got to meet some really smart people. I'm always learning and growing from that as well. And I also was a part of Canadian Mortgage Broker Association. I was a director and a treasurer on the executive board. And I was there for over, I think, 7 years. I don't know. I'm getting so old. Things are flying by. It's good that I'm in reverse mortgages now, because I'm reverting back. And then
You may need one, you're saying.
Right.
Is that right?
Right. And then from there, I was part of a DLC group. I was joined DLC, and I took some time off, and I helped and supported a friend. And then I came back to Equitable, my home. I love Equitable.
So you mentioned you started a Vimy with some amazing women. What gap or a problem did you see, in the industry that made you say, we need something like Vimy?
It was one mentorship, and it's not just me. WIMI is a collective group of people. Nobody owns it. It's just a group of people that like-minded, who are there to support each other, and to support and elevate and empower each other. And that's what WIMI really is. And it was so funny, because I heard you guys talk about public speaking, and my mentor, Hallie, she actually was the one that really got me public speaking, because I was public
Yeah,
speaking.
I was gonna ask about who was your mentor for public speaking?
It was Hallie. I learned a ton about public speaking with her. I spoke across Canada. I had such a fortunate experience to go
So
across
Wimmy was
Canada.
this blessing essentially, but
Oh, 100%. Every woman in Wimmy, I have learned something from. I learn and I grow and I evolve, and I'm so blessed to have had the opportunity from who I was when I was first in that group to who I am today is because of that women and that collectiveness in that, which I feel has created me to really understand who I am and what I have to give back as well. And I appreciate and value all those women who are in that group.
Okay, so I need to ask, public speaking, I'm not all that great at it,
Yeah.
but if I were to request, let's say, a couple or 3 tips in public speaking, what can I do to improve?
Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you my horror story. So, if anyone knows Hallie, she is amazing at public speaking. Like, she can command an audience. And I sat behind her with my scripts. So Hallie has. I'm not gonna blow out her secrets, but I learned that you got to take it serious. I learned that you've got to practice. I learned that I watched her. I was at CMBA. There was probably, I don't know, 200-300 people there. I can't remember. It seemed like lots of heads. And there she is, just doing it. And I'm thinking in my head, look how she makes it look so easy. She makes this look great. I'm going to do this without the script. I'm going to try for it. So I get on stage, and all of a sudden, I can hear my voice in my head go back to the script. Go back to the script. So follow the script. Be okay. It's okay to have a script. Be okay with the script. And it's always intimidating because when I first came back and I had to speak even through 6 people, or when I was in Quebec and it was 650 people, and it doesn't matter the audience, it's always nerve-wracking. But because I had that mentor who I got to see what greatness really is, because to me it was greatness, I was able to have a model of who I wanted to be as a public speaker. And I always said to myself, I want to be like Hallie, but if to be like Hallie, I had to work for that to be like that for her, right? And now I'm a little bit different. I have a different method in the way I public speak. I've really owned my authenticity. I understand who I am and what I have to share, and I'm very prepared. So that would be a long-winded answer to your question.
And the reason that I ask it is public speaking, it's not just going and speaking in front of 50 or 100 or 200 people.
No.
It's speaking in front of your client. It's speaking in front of the referral
100%.
partner. It's speaking in front of the lender.
Well,
You need to be able to say whatever you're going to say with confidence.
100%. Like, as a lender, we still have to talk to our clients. So we have that one-on-one with our client. And I did a presentation today and I had to think, well, how am I going to talk? What's the level of experience on this person? Is it going to be boring for this person? Like, am I going to have to do my dad lame jokes? Like, I prepare. So I meditate every time I go into a meeting. I do like deep breaths. I meditate and I prepare, and because I want to be 100% there for my client, right? So that's, I think, very important. As a broker, you want to do the same thing for your client and you want to be 100% present, right? So if I help support you and if I build you and I take the time to educate you, then that's what you get to invest into your book and your business, just like you're going to do that to your realtor, right? So we want to make sure we give you the tools so that you can go out there and do that.
Amazing.
So for women who are listening to you, whether that be brokers or lenders, who feel alone in their brokerage or in their office, how can they plug into communities like Wimmy?
Oh, well, I think you can build communities within your organization as well. Like, find the women around you, talk about what you need to talk to your lenders, like talk to people and find the community. We all need community. I'm a big community person. If you don't know me, not only, I'm always about like community, find your community, right?
So Suzanne, for anyone who does not know, I do, you do, but what exactly does a BDM do day to day, especially in relation to brokers? Can you walk us through?
This is my favorite question. What does a business development manager do in BDM? There are some amazing BDMs in BC, like off the chart. Matthew Sheriff, for one. I think I have such great respect for him. Yeah, amazing guy. And he's so focused on supporting clients, and he's so focused and he understands his knowledge. A business development manager is somebody who is there to help support you with the bank. We're kind of like, I have this, like, I'll give you my shtick because I think I'm going to give it to everybody here now. But basically, we're like the airline stewardess of the plane, and the plane is the bank or the lender. And we're here to help you. We're here to greet you. We're here to sit you down. We're here to show you the systems. We're here to walk you through what the plane is, and we're here to introduce you to the CEO, the credit manager. Like, we're here to the pilot, to the whole bit. So when the deal goes wrong or something's going off, there's the oxygen mask that we're here to put the oxygen masks on you to get you to breathe so that we can actually all work together.
Amazing analogy, by the way. Yeah.
Right? So this is what I say. So you guys are all getting my gold right here, but this is the stuff that I like to say. And when stuff goes really bad, we're here to show you the exits. We're here, like, we're your tour guides. We're the people. We're the front end service provider. So we're the ones that help say, hey, you know what, this broker is really great. This broker does this, this, and this. Like, we're advocating for you within our organizations for you as well.
And I think with someone like with your experience also then knows the policy very well, right? Has the probably, because every lender has a handbook, right? Policy handbook for their underwriters, and the way the policy is written, brokers don't have access to that because of various reasons, but it's essentially the lender's Bible. And, a BDM would know what sort of exceptions could be granted, so brokers aren't wasting their time sending deals in.
Well, and that goes back to that underwriting, right? Like, like Asim, when you were beginning in the time and even through past that, we would sit down and talk about the underwriting. Well, tell me why you wanted that this way, or tell me why you submitted the file this way. Tell me about your client. Let me understand what you're trying to communicate so I can help you with the notes, so I can help you with positioning it. Let's talk about it with the underwriter, right? Like, we want you to follow, and we want you to look the best. It's like taking home your boyfriend or your to your family. You want to introduce them well, and you want them to be presented well. You want mom and dad to like them. Well, we want our brokers to be liked by our bank. So we want to make sure that you have the tools to sit down at dinner and to be able to have those conversations.
I love the examples and analogies. They resonate so well, with that space we're in, right? Like, that's giving me thoughts how I can structure my conversations with people by using certain analogies.
The airline analogy or airplane analogy, I love it. I was once on a plane, and there was somebody that asked about the emergency exits. They said, where are they again? And I thought about it for a second. I'm like, it seemed like a bit of a silly question. They just went over it, and they were asking the question again. But it wasn't a silly question. It was a very important question. So as a BDM, is there a silly question?
No.
Or should somebody come to you
No,
and ask
never.
every question?
There's never a silly question. And to tell you the truth, I'm okay repeating my answers. The important thing is to know that you understand it. And we all have different learning levels, and we all have different spaces that we need. And I think it's really important because I am that teacher that I wanted to be when I was a child. And I really want you to understand my product. I want you to understand how to best put that out there to support the needs of your client, because we always want to do it the right thing. The late Andrew Moore always said, we always want to do the right thing. So it's super important that we as BDMs are there to support our clients, which are mortgage brokers. And I always say to people, if you want to ask me the same question, I'm okay with that. Because one day you're not going to need me, because you're going to know this better than me. And I want you to know this better than I do.
So then what does a really strong broker BDM relationships looks like from your side?
Good question. My favorite way to say that is, if my underwriters and if my underwriting manager knows your name and they're fighting for your deal, that's what I want for you. It's up to you to take what I say, and it's up to you to apply it to your business. But a really good broker to me is somebody that everybody wants your deals.
Right. So I think you touched upon it, but I want to ask that question for top brokers. What does it look like from your side when you're working with top brokers? What are the common behaviors or habits they all have?
I find they have grit. It's that grit, and they don't give up. And also they exhaust it. Like they're finding a solution. They care about their clients, right? And that's really what a top broker really is.
So working with that many brokers, what is one small change a broker can make before submitting their files to a lender so they have higher approvals?
Notes. Understand what to put in those notes. Sometimes
You're telling a story.
100%. Sometimes I have submissions that I've seen or talked to other lenders, and they're top producing brokers and they have no notes. And it's really no notes completely. We don't even know who to contact sometimes. So it's really important to put your contact information in there. If you have an underwriter, put your underwriter, but also make sure that everybody's phone numbers are in there, because now we have a delay. We have to go find that information. We need to understand the story. The story is so important because that's part of the whole story of the deal. And when you underwrite, you're not just order taking. You are creating a like you're creating like artwork in sending it to the lender, right? And that's your work.
When you're describing a story, though, are you describing a massive lifelong story?
No,
or
I don't
what
need
should they be
to know that
pinpointing?
you were lifelong friends since you were 3 years old. That's not going to move the needle. So it's like, what's the strategy of why do they need the mortgage? What's happened in their life event? What are they going to utilize their funds for? You know, just like, just tell the story of the deal that's walking into this. If
Clear, concise
clear,
notes.
concise notes, like if they have like a 400 beacon, why? Why is the reason for that? Is it a life event, right? What's the strategy that you have that's going to build them back up, right?
Now, I've seen some notes where it's 3 pages long. I'm assuming
Yeah.
that that's not what you folks want to
So
see.
if you want to delay in underwriting and you want to write that novel, that's going to be pretty tough. Concise notes. And if you don't know what concise notes are, there are so many amazing BDMs that are available to you. So write your notes, send it to your BDM. Your BDM will go through it with you, and they'll let you know what to cut out, right?
And Equitable is one of our main partners, and you work with a lot of AIMI brokers. When you think about us as a group, what stands out for you right away?
I love the community here, the culture. I think it's fun. I think there's like a lot of newer brokers, and I just love that shine. That new broker shine. I love that, but I love the way that everybody kind of supports each other, and they're working together on files and stuff like that. I think it's kind of cool, right? It reminds me of, when you are are in a group and, everybody's sharing and giving knowledge back and forth to help evolve and support each other.
Has there been a deal or situation with an AI/MI broker that really made you think, this is why I like working with this group?
Yes, I like unique, challenging files. I love the brain teaser of it and finding the solution, because there's always a solution. And I think out of the box thinking and making sure it fits in the parameters of their bank. And, we're here to support our clients, which are brokers, but also our clients' clients, and being able to solve problems for real people who are in challenging situations. And to hear that you've changed a life by supporting that file and by helping your client support their clients, and everybody's winning, I think that's really cool, to tell you the truth. And it's super fun too, because the broker is so happy, especially when they're brand new, and to be a part of their first success is just a privilege and a treat, right? Right?
You said that you are a BDM,
Correct.
but
Well, an RCM.
an RCM. Okay, so explain that. What exactly is it? Because I know you are the reverse mortgage specialist or expert with Equitable Bank, but what exactly is your title?
So I'm a regional channel manager for Western Canada right now. So I'm here to support brokers in building their business with reverse mortgages, and to support them with their senior clients and helping them find solution, but also helping them build their business to help support a population of our society.
In your role, what exactly is it that you do for brokers?
Okay, so that's a great question, Kyle, and thank you for asking that. I'm here to support people in their business. So, sometimes, as you guys talk about, you need a mentor or you need somebody to help rebound ideas or support. I'm here to support you. What's my knowledge of being in the broker industry and being a broker and having all these amazing, wonderful brokers that have mentored me in the past, and being in that space, going from answering phones to building out campaigns to underwriting for a few years for one of the top brokers at that time, to joining one of the top firms, to working 5.5 years on the alternative side, and then working in DLC there for a while with brokerage and operations and systems, and then coming back and to Equitable Bank, and then really being able to dig in and support people to build their business so they're successful. That's kind of what I'm here to do. I'm here to help, add value to you and your business, and how to take it to the next level.
So, Suzanne, if we followed you around for a week, uh, what would we see you doing most of the time?
What do I do? So I'm up, believe it or not, I'm up at about 4:30, 6 o'clock. I meditate. I take in some meditation. I go for a walk in the morning. I really try to get my head straight so I can really be there for my clients. And then I come back and then I start meetings. Like, you're always on the phone, right? And you're always in a meeting, or you're always trying to help support somebody, or you're inventing, or you're developing something for your clients, or you're in a presentation.
Fair enough. And when you look back at your whole journey, from how you grew up, becoming a broker, to being a BDM, what are you most proud of?
I'm proud that people said I couldn't do it, and I did it. And I can tell you today that if I were to quit tomorrow, I can be really happy with the people that I've met, the people that have engaged in my life, the people that have invested in me, the investment that I had in myself. I can feel that when they said that I would never be able to do anything in my life, that I did it. And I didn't allow other people to determine where I'm going to go and who I'm going to be. And I'm the owner of my journey, and I'm the owner of my destiny. And I've been very blessed to have worked with wonderful people in this industry who have been a contribute to that. And, like I've topped out some names like Hallie and, Lucky, and, there's just a lot of people, Asim, and a lot of people in my world, right? And now you, Kyle, I've been getting to get to know you and your big brain of different ideas. So it's kind of
powerful.
like, right?
So if you had to pick one decision that changed the entire trajectory of your career, what would that be? I think you touched on it from was it the experience that you met with a broker? Was that it? That pivotal
Actually,
point?
to tell you the truth, I think it was when I met Hallie. I think she was a big trajectory in my career. I think she was a wonderful, generous mentor for me. I've been very blessed to have somebody like her. And I was able to grow through that experience and challenge myself. I've had wonderful friends like Kyra Coco Wong, and I think just allowing myself to, be flow, just to flow. Like, don't overthink it, don't conform. You know, you have value. We all have value. And I think that's really important to remember, because sometimes this industry can be really hard and isolating and alone. And sometimes a BDM is all you have to make that connection or whatever. So it's really important to feel that you're full of value, right?
When you think about the next 5 to 10 years, what do you look forward to?
I look forward to, and this is going to sound funny, and my husband's probably going to be like, "What are you talking about?" But I actually would like to see myself in India, and I want to live this simple life, and I want to, be with my brother-in-laws and my sister-in-laws, and I want to enjoy. Like, I feel like I've worked really hard, and I've really had a wonderful career, and I've been very lucky, and I've met so many amazing people in these careers. I want to take a minute and experience, you know, something that, we always tease that Surrey's Jalunder, and I kind of want to live in Jalunder, the real Jalunder.
How would you like people in the mortgage industry to remember you and your contributions?
I don't even think about it. I just think if we do good every day and we share good every day, I feel like that's kind of who I am. If I've touched one person's life and supported them, then that's great. I think I do what I do because I love it. I do what I do because I want to see people successful, and I want people to achieve their dreams and be that mentor to others who were mentor to me. And I think that's really important to be. So when I think about, I'm going to die, does people, are people going to remember me? Probably not. But have I touched a few people on the way out? Yeah, I hope I do.
I think you've touched a significant
A
amount
lot
of
of
people,
people.
people that you
Oh, that's
don't
generous.
realize. No, seriously, I think wherever you're at right now, Equitable Bank, I think they're extremely lucky to have with you, because you know how to connect with people on a totally different level. It's not just a conversation. You're providing meaning to them in their lives. I can say
That's an unbelievable
personally,
gift.
I've experienced that. And so your legacy, this isn't for your memoir or anything, but you're known in this industry as being somebody that is approachable, and you have a plethora of knowledge. So thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. That was very kind. Thank you.